Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of FSI's PGA DFS Pick Show. I'm your host TK Nation 47, bringing to you the U.S. Open Showdown Round 2 DraftKings preview. Okay, Round 2 is probably not going to finish tonight, so I'm recording this during the actual first round. First round is, I'd say everyone's on the back nine, and you pretty much have a good idea of who's playing well at this point and who is not. I think you really don't know who's going to make the cut until you can get a better idea of how the round 2 is going to go, and who is dropping like a fly and who is maybe playing, even or just under par. There's not going to be many guys under par going into the weekend. This course is playing really tough. It's only going to get drier. It's only going to get faster on the greens, and it's only going to get harder. And if the USGA is not going to cut the rough, or they're not going to water the greens, then I can see a lot of high scores. But yeah, let's get into some DraftKings picks. Shot link data is not available for this course, so anything you see is going to be a raw taken from the tournament, from themselves. I unfortunately don't have that ability to do that, but what I do know is feel, and what I do have is a good eyesight for what I see, who is playing well, what this course is giving us, and what we are going to have to anticipate heading into the second round. Okay, so my thoughts are through the first is who is putting and who is playing well around the greens. A lot of guys here are struggling around the green, and they're not getting good looks for par, or they're putting themselves way out of the hole. Like we're seeing 4 putts, 3 putts, guys sailing birdie putts, just look lost. So I need to know, are you playing well around the green? Because just about everybody's got bad tee shots, or they got tee shots in the fairway. I think the fairways are wide enough to hit. I don't think that's a struggle for anyone at the moment. I mean, there are narrow, straight holes, but that's Torrey Pines, and that is what we came to expect. I think everyone's having to play the same lies in the rough. They're getting their chances out of the fairway as well. You have to score. You have to score on these par fives. And the only way to score on par fives is how you play around the green. So I'm only going to be looking at players that are playing well around the greens and on the greens. From what I've watched so far, I'll just start at the top here. Jon Rahm playing very well around the greens. He's got a pretty much a magic touch right now. He played elite at the Memorial. Obviously we know the story. He was leading through 3, and then the COVID case got him. He's picking up right where he left off. I was pretty stunned to see a lot of people think that they, could fade Jon Rahm, especially after what they saw at the Memorial. So a lot of people just didn't play for that price tag. I know it's going to be pretty hard to get 6-6 through with him in your lineup, but I think if you play the right value plays, you're sitting pretty, because not many people played this guy in Classic, at least in the contest that I'm playing in. 10-5 for tomorrow. I think it's a solid price. It's going to start off in the morning. If they do decide to water the greens, I think Jon Rahm is going to be in prime position to be able to score because of that. You're going to have a little bit of some morning dew, so any type of advantage you can get on these greens, I think you need to take, and Jon Rahm's going to have that opportunity with the early tee time. Jordan Spieth not playing so well. I think it all started with that missed short putt on that par 5 on the 18th. Just a brutal missed 4-foot putt for par. Would have saved would have saved himself from getting into the water. I think from there it kind of spiraled out of control for Spieth, and now he's not in a good position heading into tomorrow. He needs to go under par to try to make the cut. I certainly think he's very capable of doing that at 10-3. I am not trying to... I guess you could try to play somebody that's going to have to go low at 10-3 because, finishing position doesn't really matter. So I think GPP. DJ looks kind of lost on the greens. I think he's made up everything with his ability off the tee and with his approach. His iron shots are looking really good. I think he's going to continue to give himself looks, but I don't think he's going to be able to make many birdies. And I'm afraid if there's one bad hole, it might take him south. So DJ, not one of my favorite golfers tomorrow at 10K. Xander at 98, I do like Xander. He's playing very well. He is going to be in the afternoon wave, though. He is going to get some dried out greens. So I'm not really keen on Schauffele tomorrow. I'd rather play some of these guys up top with some of the better preferred draw, and I think that is going to be the morning with a little bit of the dampness of the morning. Collin Morikawa is going to be a pass for me. I did not see enough from him. He does not have a typical good short game, so I'm out on Morikawa. Brooks looks dialed in. I am in on Brooks. He looks like he is ready to go for this U.S. Open, just as the FSI guys predicted at 9,400. I think he is a core play tomorrow. Bryson, I think you could certainly play him going off in the morning. I think he's going to have better luck around the greens. He's not really been playing well around the greens of late, but I think he's going to figure it out, and his distance is going to give him an advantage always at a course like Torrey Pines. Next up, we have Victor Hovland. I have been out on him. Zalatoris, no thanks. JT, no thanks either. I'm not in on Finau. Webb Simpson was a major disappointment to many today. He is not going to be in my lineups either. Rory McIlroy, 8,700. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to finish his round tonight, but he chipped in for birdie. He's got something going. I mean, his putter's not working, but his around the green game's working. He can score on par fives. He can score off the tee. So I'm going to continue to roster Rory McIlroy, 8,700. I think that's way too cheap. Louis Oosthuizen, 8,600. I think this is like a sweet spot in where you want to play your guys. I think if you just played Brooks and Bryson and you just faded the top and maybe only played a little bit of Rahm, I think that's exactly the style you want to do in your showdown lineups tomorrow. Rory, Louis, Cantlay, I like all three of them. Hideki leads the field tee to green. I did see that from a pundit on the Twitter sphere. So Hideki is in good position here at 8,200. I unfortunately faded him on the main slate, so yeah, he's going to be crushing a lot of my good lineups, keeping them away from the top if he continues to play well, and it sounds like he's about to. So with that being my hardest fade at the moment, Hideki is going to play well. Scheffler, I don't mind Scheffler. He's going to go off in the morning, 8K. Kokrak's going to be at a PM tee time. I don't mind Kokrak. He had a little mess up on his last hole today, but otherwise he was a +1 and he played the majority of his round under par. I like Kokrak heading into the weekend. Lowry, another player that played really well, bounced back after a really big triple bogey. He has a good short game prowess, so I'm going to continue to stick Lowry in lineups. Hatton, way too cheap. Leishman, another guy that loves this course. 2 runner-ups in a win here at Torrey Pines in his career. I think you can roll out the Lowry, Hatton, Leishman. Answer leads the field in approach, 7,600. That is another guy I like. Bezadenhout has been getting really lucky, but he is actually a really good short game player, so I don't mind that as much. Yeah, now we're getting into it. Burns, I don't mind him. Carlos Ortiz kind of lost his round. Another big fade I shouldn't have done is Fitzpatrick. He's kind of biting me in the butt right now. Streelman playing fantastic around the greens, exceptional. Streelman probably a core play for me tomorrow. Just make a few more putts. Robbie McIntyre is really playing well, 7,200. I do like that play as well. Westwood is back. Brendan Grace. We have Kikuya Rough, and that is a South African style rough that they play with. So I really like Brendan Grace in this spot. He's been playing around the green pretty well. Thomas Detry was up to 300 at one point. That's not bad. A lot of good correlation for some of these Euro Tour golfers right now. Wilco Nienaber, another guy playing well. Rafa Cabrera-Bello is pretty volatile, but he does love California golf. This is a golfer that really does play pretty well at the Pebble Beach. Similar course layout, but this is just, you know, twice as long it seems. But Cabrera-Bello playing well too. I don't mind him. Francisco Molinari's got his brother in town, so he's loving life. He looks like he's playing just as good as he usually can at Torrey Pines. making a lot of fairways, and the difference right here, it's you don't have to be that long off the tee, but if you have the short game prowess, you're going to play well, and that is exactly what Francisco Molinari is doing. Is he's making all the chips he needs to make makeable putts, and that's the name of the game right now. Make putts, make putts. Richard Bland hit a couple of birdie bombs today. 6,800 just seems to never get any younger, but he seems to keep continuing to do what he does. He's been transferring over from the Euro Tour. Guido Migliazzi, he's playing above his head right now, I would say, for the first major I've seen him in, so I don't mind him. Russell Henley, 6,700, kind of like out of nowhere. I didn't have any thought on Russell Henley before the tournament started, so to see him go out there and shoot 4 under in the first round lead is a shock to me. I think he played very well, very exceptional, so I'm just going to have to roll with that at 6,700. That's just far too cheap, even though he is on the PM draw. If you wanted to fade him, he's going to have mega chalk ownership, so that makes a lot of sense. Patrick Rogers, 6,700, really good POA putter, living up to that prowess. As we drop down here, we get Matthew Wolff at 6,600. He was the talk of the morning. 66 is so cheap. He looks like he is on a vengeance to come back to the golf world, and this is a golf tournament he finished second in last year. So Matthew Wolff, if you believe in him, keep riding him out there. Tyler Montgomery leads the field in putting, so I'm gonna definitely go with Montgomery over Wolff as a good GPP pivot. Guido Molinari and the Molinari brothers seem to be doing pretty well. 6,500. I'm going to say no to that, though. As we scroll down here to the bottom, Marcus Armitage, maybe. Buckley, 6,300. This is a Korn Ferry Tour player. I'm not going to play him. I'm just going to see if he beats me. He beats me. Hoshino, Japanese Tour player. He's pretty good. 6,200. I just think it's not going to continue to hold up. And that'll round things out, and that'll wrap things up for Showdown Round 2 for the U.S. Open. I'm your host, TK Nation 47. Please like and comment below. And, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the Weekend Plays edition.